juma na nkodo.
Yeah. It's good.
When we start getting our way in China. Maybe almost $1 cost. Yes, we are $1 was Ghana. I had this Missy Mama, me who Namu Namkacha said, me yes, me to about that.
Oh, no, was my 7.
After wait when I'm to Abaman, me person black. Into your pamucho.
In Ghana, our price are lost because of the dollar. In Senema to me, yes, people. Remember, yes, the price now, about the local markets and the consumers interest me. I've been problems in the face.
Me and my physical problem this year means me brand track. I make one out this year.
What is the problem?
The problem was the price has increased. It was 1,350, but now it is 1,750. Just 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks?
Yes.
From 1,350?
Yes, 2,750.
2,750.
So I was returning back. Because
wow.
The price I gave it to them over there. And now that it has increased about double, I can't afford it.
Good to see you. That's it.
Abusianfo mamunyira akwa abasoronko e de RAZ media so abusia ene another show ene ye make kasa fanse bebre ho na say de munyira mahu no da bia me kase NDC for there ye ka gimmicks trickish deceiving omo ye number 1 omo ye number 1 no number 1 video am botched of this year for so ben was and for so ben was to say finance minister according to them ISONI ayi for adwadifo edi nkomo e koye budget ntime bana minimum ko di nkomo bra budget enne e na wo de ko parliament akoka ho asem e de akire Ghana fo enra na wakọ adwadifo so no mo ko di nkomo to do what budget say the one night the prepare when you just a way what to deceive people say ye tie mo asem omoboa na won where me dey do obi ana ye me ya pa say people then can say fastly intentemu amu na ye woni free eniema na ye jaya ma entro akata yani no kure da ho ye nka ye hu ade kan ye nka budget enom konkan ye and this aban ye hu omo pen ye hu omo pen enye the issue say I've allocated money to here and the issue no ye free be create loot and share sika no e be push the alcohol na se push ko ho wie na ehe ne sika na beko ehe fa e ne sika na beko yantia no an be kan che so kwakosi millennium city sa millennium city no e diska ko ho na sa millennium city no wa hu ne pai yantia ya na MAHAMA so kwakosi sagreme affordable housing yan pushi sika ni nyina anko sa affordable housing e kosi sei abusia yantia na MAHAMA so kwakosi ofene den second interchange you know sika ye disi ye apan foforo be disi interchange miensa. So I don't know what Ghanaians are now joying. Me name the Ghana for jubility. They are rejoicing. What are you rejoicing? It is the efficiency of the budget. The head budget the one kase when you be say the aye enye de mabeju na keka brofo me ko entire wani age. Now where I've never seen we in a NDC for year very incompetent. Send your mom go can wo brashe bedwam ho ene no. Ene the mommy who said NDC for year very incompetent. betting tax. Yep, say family and also money ma. E-levy, electronic transaction. Also on Tiasia. Hey, you are somebody pop. You are somebody pop and abusian. And then me no bedin komobi. You bedin koma kwa chilipa. Budget then no modi abano. You beka wasem. And hesa a video na uhu ya atu forcing. Wakwane nane nam. Ofeni say market force. Makuna market force say oni omu kudin komo. Why? Enra najo. Ena woko market ho ni omu kudin komo. Abela o budget and then over present. What are they going to bring? The day before presenting the budget. No akwane na madwe force. What is the sense in that? Budget no, you take it 3-4 months and prepare budget. Until a day before, and obey take any sense. Now what to me then I prepare a kama, allocating a kama, a Jessica papa dia to swap a plan, dia to sumana ye juma. That is what we call domestic political politics. Ye benenam ho, na ma say a dream more. Why not dream more? Who thinks about you? Who thinks about you? And this is for the dream. And this is for the hey, you quite got to sanitary pad, the man. And Ghana for more problem any sanitary pad. Ghana for problem or more Ghana for Mayua. Problem or more any sanitary pad. Yeah. Ye here answer dear fata. Sanitary pardon. Say we are near man near Makoya. I could be a bit to me to be. I could be a bit to me to be their money ba. And your government responsibility to buy sanitary pad. Now, Crofo, one drinking your jumo. I didn't a goon crofo waiting no. I am with new policy no Mquasia eh. Allocation of maybe Brenana, ye create loot and share. Yem pushes scanning kogu on a fakwambiswia. Sanitary pad is the duty of the government to buy sanitary pad for the children. Hey, and I Ghana for a budget so. And I Ghana for a budget so. Hey, ye per contract the Amakwasi and Panini be a coto sanitary pad the Aba. Ye pe kwan ya be fa so betimi anya sika wia wo ho sanitary pad ne boy say na wo koto ni dozens ne bo fofofo ye ba ne de bebo mutim na obi e de anya ne ho se e na de Ghana ban de oye ne so to sanitary pad ma Ghana fo nkoda ene oman we oman pa na wo e so gumusa no sanitary pad nyina ye tobi me see ye die hia na ye answer ye fata o ye fata kokwa akuafo na mo so beba mo save 6 million per bag no muntu ama won 6,000 per bag no se muntu ama o beto sanitary pad ya mo ma ai free education am so mo be ye ni yie no mo nya ni yie na mo ye ni yie a maamefo ne awarefo papafo ebeto sanitary pad edi amomma na mahama de wodi agro ye wudewu agro ye wude agro wo mahama ni so sa to force we kromfo me say allocations no mo ye no me woni nyina wo ha man ko ba bia o me no nyina ye ba beche allocations o mo ye no nyina afa ye be kenkan ya kirew ye wia they are punchy holes a womb. If we are not there, they are punchy holes a womb. Sikano, Tuana editing or my num, a yedanya or Tuan Smufancheme. Tuana editing or my muno, a yedanya, Yebello a kit, Yebello kitin or baby. But the issue is who locating. One locate here we know. eye no kresa de beye de wo kana na se wo mfa nye. That is the question that we are asking. Ye ni papa ne dada Ghana fo mo kura mo boroso mo ye mo ntse le mo nim John Darega Mahama onfa bi ye mo da odi bia ye yenda wa ye aboroso da. We know who this man is. Mamo nye mo ho te se de mo nti bi da ene ya locate. And the sanitary pad in Yaba by Ghana buying Neka. Nada, Bonnie Bay. Bonnie Bay in Ghana for the INDC. Abusia, Mamma Fantia, a motive for now you try a homela, name for sure no. And she shall see. Ye baby bye so, ye be bye so, ye be bye so. Sikal baby or mode ko. Ye who sika mode ko biana. Actually, or Chinabino. Near baby some says carry or mode call and dear no mode ye. Into a man fancy I can see Emanana Bema Ewo YouTube. Michael Umbet Memo Aquaba. Nana Adunsia, also Memo Aquaba. Sansuna Mimia Kwasi Asamoah from Facebook, Machiapa. Oskani Kwajo Kwache, Ose Monster Budget. Robin Peter to pay Paul. Aye. Mimia Kwasi Asamoah so say winning red budget 2025. Hey, Sasem Wesu a very serious issue in Ghana. Mofrana say, Sadro no pa there was buying and take serious measurement now on fine day and making sure that medicine will get out of the country. But I hear so a man for a kum sunsum wumupa. Yeah, Mimia Samuel Baduan Ponsa say RAZ, it is not easy at all. Absolutely no. Hima Mr. K, but he must see greetings, Mr. Manfo, Mame Mwakwaba. Sansuna Patrick Owusu answer. Or say hola Ghana, we have a long way to go. To elect NDC, look at some of the parliamentarians who can't even spell their name. How are we going to go forward? Ayen sembe bide. Mimi I will some coffee one so memo akwaba. Abusianfo, mama yentwa ye ho emra. Ye ba ya na the video na hwehwe so but ye twa ye ho no. Mesra say share video no. Like video no mame. And share to group a wom na abusianfo dom emeka ye ho. Sa nso na bomodene na ye den like video no ene your first time what asim wo hanso a mesra say subscribe e channel no so ewo YouTube, Facebook nso na wa like channel na meka pa. Yentwa ye ho mra na yento aso. Yes, abusianfo you try your ho aba. Kama pa. When him say watch a video no, wa like so. Mesro say unyan share ya bomodran na share, o like so a na wa bo homodran na wa like video na mame. Say wo de oba ha ya, de mesre wa no so de like video no mame na share mame. Yes, the aka no. Ye de ni nyina ebeto aso e de ama. Me Kofi Franco fi mo akwaba. Caliph Jaben wonso me mo akwaba ye pa. Abusianfo aja abo ajano anya ababeduru awie na wahu he yesi wiase na yewo no se woni nkontomponi yedan tu America mane ni kan na di na chi ai nkontomponi unini tu America ma onu ni kan na wudi na chi sanso na nkontomponi yentumi ne achinye enkosi pepamu da because kuye den a ontie de wo ka no beguso ayeden atwa ne ntro no because ho na ye comfortable ma no enti so de ho etutu nkontomponi se woni ne betwe so woni ne de befe so akasa obekasa obebre enti nkontomponi so no betwe so a jana mane nko na hwe no because you see nkontomponi anama oyeden 8 ya abusiamfo ye nyina ye wo ha ye nyina sisira force memo akwa abapa ye nyina ye wo ha NNDC aban John Daraga Mahama call parliament eko kan kire Ghana fo nyina say the Ghana economy has been criminally managed for the past 8 years pacho timi pa ye nyina ye wo ha ena John Daraga Mahama call parliament ko kan asem we esan ko hia asabio gutafo kan kire labor for so kan kire omo say na nando danko akufo adre na aban manage the economy with the criminal minded into ya say Ghana ye kan say yesika asem nyina na ye ba nso be kan kire mo say ye ntro ye the evidence be kire mo enra me bo video bi kire wa na NDC ni ankasa ye dey ka say the economic indicators na egu form no bibia kire say John Mahama can never fail and in moreover Osanka say any kwan say omotena ho ema John Mahama fail because kwanya na nado afaso manage economy no mana kwa koduru no say Mahama failure na say he's proven second term incompetency but still the officials of the NDC goes around and try to deceive Ghanaians to say eyentro ene aja ebo the budget the first budget of the NDC about 10 now NDC still thinks that they are in opposition adrene do mutim no omju so mu opposition me bana ba bo yen kan say you may read the budget sikana ba bi omode koye only 18 points but be omudi scan koye now before answer na to forcing eba be read the budget no ade bi koso outside the budget outside the parliament Mami Janet aside be mo akwaba ade bi koso outside the ballot outside the parliament actually prefer say some microphone from one DC for no they still believe say they are in opposition so anywhere they go they try to find people who will come and submiss the people. They try to intimidate people. Omo pese omo nka nipa binu manum asem nhye. Omo pese nipa binu nya kwanya nkasa. Se de aka okata free fa. Okata free fa the channel NDC for the government machinery. When kwase asema Kevin Taylor didn't Ghana man from America for the whole past 8 years. Who will say government machinery? Esoditiam and so ne kete free fa channel yase no within a short possible time into the same time the same way NNDC for ne outside the parliament yes sir akwase san kwasiafo ba say omomra no mo intimidate who the NPP MPs said they buy omoko parliament ho na say kromfo ato forcing at the budget na ba bonten a omonka omo feelings emfa nkyere no wo de hwade we
ya omekwa kwa kasa nye na favor na ye one kasa because yet my for 8 years ya my 8 years ye hu ye bi
to base
ya omekwa kwa kasa nye
say papa yo gina ho ye nyina nim say fairness teka the deputy finance minister You heard it.
Ghana favor na ye one kasa penalty because yet my for 8 years. Now my 8 years. You who ye bia no, you who ye. And your politics asem. Ye baba be ye Ghana. And that.
Yes, kwasi ampanyi we say nyina yenim no. Akwa we NFS Federal fail. Akwa na osi ye galamse wo Ghana ntina Akufo-Addo na aban Akufo-Addo na busiamfo agi Ghana ese no. Ntina onam kroma na oye dede no. Ene de ekoso wo galamse site no. Kwasi ampanyi we say ohun ye o. Ene onam parliament kutie budget. Ah, kwasi ampanyi we ono ene ojina parliament anim ADs table MPs. Abra the forest baby no ojina no ye dede. The enam so asabio the access to hospitals okobroko no. The enam so no didi Ghana fo nyina atem sa Ghana fo ye moa ye nimu nyansa se ba ku wo enye hwe no. Sa de no gusu ekoso dendende. Kwasi ampanyi we ne ono na parliament koyede ko defend the NDC government. Sa kwa we yo. Intimidate some prominent MPP members on betumi akasa forward the budget no ho. Now they take discussions na ekoso ha ne
Honorable we na me call association. Na kwanye to street light and so offer your friend saying sofola entertain this one ninia and so patase ninia wo ho enne watena on my way mu for 8 years Mr. Seka kawanu tum parliament din na on my no the new finance minister every kind of ma Ghana for Oria the mobile to so no enye the yenyan said the Ghana be ko enim enye the best sabotage on mine any on mining council yeah she say be yenyan for parliament then that man for so we are hoping second then mobile come and no I'm not attacking you sir you don't say that I am not attacking you've been attacking government and I'm telling you to be citizen I am asking you to be citizen not a spectator I am distance myself away from you see what you are doing
Ante abusuase mu nyina mo ho. Sa kwase ampanyi we. Ya soma ne se onko no onko ye den. Onko distract MPs no. Kwase ampanyi we yo. When you are talking about say obi attack government. Say odwene ho awon te ase. Anytime that Kenoforiata went to parliament to present budget, the NDC stood up and what and brought in some discussions making sense. They always denigrated the image of the finance minister. Kwasi awesu ante ho hwe wa hu ne say ye bone na enye bibia bete ne. He's telling the MPP not to comment about the budget. Abusha untimi yepa. Na me pacho eba ne se na no na enye bone na enne dia ba be ye bone enkrofo of say Ghana mine your mu dia o tom NDC supporters and yet NDC sympathizers any of mu leadership omo adwene de omo team ene se o mine e your mu agapade de omo pe na omo de be ye enti ene we are telling even an honorable member of parliament to say budget na ye de ba no enkasa mfa ho kawanu tum sa kwa we ya ono complain say ampino ne constituency or money street light or money road no mi bisa kwasi ampanyi no we say NDC MPs no omo di omo constituencies no omo wo street light ne road na asefo ana adenti a onko kotwa sa videos no bi emfa mechire Ghana for na what parliament once you are not a member of parliament Janeta from Mame Mwakwaba. Now, these guys are hired. They are hired to do this stupidity across the country. You kind of monty. This is a party that was built with the human blood. You the nipa dasani moja and they build a party way. Why are you expecting from them? That is how they do it. Anyway, kwan foforo bi no bebetumi afa so dia yo benema kwan we so ne befa na wa akura we what to me an anti-co parliament den the one say kwahyehyɛ MP nani ase sɛ man nkasa mfa budget ho na wo after all wo rafe is a friend will say you wo. What do you know about governance? Na yet home. Ni nyina ne say sa party na aba abai mu no enye me ene wunti aye bae. The enti omo bae ne say they are coming to what? The omo be fasika, omo be nya omo ho, omo be di sika, omo be sisa sika ne de asie. Sa nkrofo wenum nyina yesi obekọ no omo da government pray wuro so. Ye betua won ka boso man. Because omo na aye adwuma ma aban na ba power until we are going to allocate money for them. And in their allocations na abano NDC for ani age. Before me catch the wo. Sarah fe no ne nam ho no. Onye nipa bi ono ebuo bi wona ni so obuo obi o. Omu obi a. Because he is yen can say covered and powered by the NDC and NDC Santr power. And he doesn't care. Or he don't respect anybody. He does whatever he wants to do in the country and nobody questions him. But abusia yen koso na yen to aso. Before we will talk about the budget itself, no. Ibeka safa and sema ato force nka okasewi and sema ba abonteno. I just want you to go through with this. Let's go through. Let's go through to what the NDC said that he's going to do. Bashawa huniyepa. Hello. Say you never kaya. Nana akuya afro me mwakwa papa. Afro. Yeah. My next son, me woman bano ebe ma permeto ne afro. Afro ya me depa. Abusiamfo, let's get deep into what the NDC came in to tell us. Abusiamfo, during the NDC campaign, NDC share bobebre. Almost share bobebre. Na bono almost share ye no. We were expecting say sama ya omo abai and come to me adi omo bo share no so. But what we can see is say Sanema we ya omo de abai nyina no just a way to steal. Yen to aso ne yen ko yanim. And this if we share ye boss omo eba their priority agenda yen can say 24-hour economy. Sa 24-hour economy no ma hwehwe omo yi no omo de ba ye no mu nyina first one nie second one nie ma hwehwe ma hu ba bia agenda 111 she sorry 24-hour economy no ho allocation wo ma hu. But let's wait to see if they will come and talk about it. Abusiamfo, NDC is an incompetent in opposition and in power. Let's move on. NDC for country Ghana for say they are going to allocate 10 billion US dollars. Ewo mo agenda bi omo friend in the big push. The big push idea and they say omo be ma industrial growth aye den akona nim na nyuma anyini na ede ahoto aba ama mabunu anya adwuma ye. Miria $10 billion na muso mo de beto eho amasa de na akoso no. And this if we kan your budget na omuso mo de 13 billion Ghana cedis and e kwhye sa adwuma na se. Na 13 billion no o convert it into what? Into dollars ya. Less than even $1 billion. Yeah, and this you say and this zoo. And just say yes answer. Yanto was here. yenyendro yaza tese yezunko ye the 10 billion US dollars and ekoye den and the besha ye the big push agenda no and this betra konwa so a ye the 800 million dollars and the aba na tiemniye sa 800 million dollars we ayeka ho asem no yemfa ne say omoye even 1.5 billion dollars per year kurampona $10 million no omunya in 4 years of their time in office. And first of all eyentro omuye nkontompofo wo a wo ye obi a wo di wani to the big push program so say the 10 billion dollars e ba be sa sector sa yankan sa initiative num ama wanya somfa so no menua omoboa sike o so omfa nkɔhye ho no omo antumi amfa nkɔhye ho sike o so omfa nkɔhye ho no for this 2025 no said the omosia program no from the next year to the 2028 no sa amount of money no omo ntumi nya mfa nkɔhye ho money ye kae said they were speaking without having facts and figures with them. It was just for campaign promises, just to let people feel say NDC care about them. And to me, the 10 billion US dollars, ship the big push agenda no. Ye buy the 800 million dollars and akwa. Here there is more to say. Sikane di asheho, how the money will goes into the real people. Enipa na omubehia sa sika no omudi aye bibima omana konanim no. Kwanye sika no befa so akodi omunsam ene na ye asem no. Because one kreti one pekwam bi so amfa pipa antrade bi mana anye say in a sense of governance no emrama ho kwan a huntumi nwie sika no. So what they do is they try to find a way to steal the money from the coffers of the government. Na they acquire bonten enti enya free yensemu penya free aban no coffers num na they kwa bonten pe ho no na ye share no nti ye kreti na ya lutu na ya share enti sa sika we yes here for the industrial ye de be boama productivity akoso e wo man num. But I can put my hands on fire say this money is going to be shared among some NDC men. Yanto aso biem. NDC for said they are locating how many? 499.8 million Ghana cedis. Allocation for the no academic fee policy for first year student in public tertiary institutions. No academy fee policy. Sankrofo omo yare pa omo yare. Mibisa wo tiemi yo. Yes, here the 499.5 million. Koma a school for omo beko a free tertiary institutions, university, all those type of schools no. Your first year no ye njusika enti the 499 million koho na ye dia koma school for so be ya oba untia school fees for the first time, admission fee no one. But the question that I'm asking you is say sadly way it doesn't incentivize. I can incentivize. Yes, it doesn't incentivize the poor. What you say? We makwai mo here ni babi to me in school. Sadly way, it is only for the rich men. And for so so enkwasiasem. How to the equity in society. And then that is why I love the MPP party. When they do something, they do things in a manner that it can bring equity. Sadly way your moyen or high. Mami Dana, me mwakwa wapa. Saa sika we omodi akọ for the first year academy and no fee policy no hwan nyina. Eye nyansa nim because the ede beba ne say eye sikafo no nko a ene betimi take benefit of this because ohiani ba no uko school for the first year na one tia fear the next 2 years na aka wanim no. How are you going to maintain to go to the school? And this is for only the rich men. And combat timatia. Omuno muntia. Ohiani bano. Omwane honko 1 year of tertiary institution. Pacho temi yepa. Ohiani bano onim say after the first year. Ontimintia school fees ewo tertiary institution hono. Onko school no. Just because 1 year is free. Na mfie menu na aka hwan ne betua ma no. Oh, this sankrofo we omo ne adwene wo tire no omo yare. When you want to elevate a society, utie, when you want to elevate the society, you make sure say you bring in policies etimi then involve inclusion of all level of class. The class in the society no, with the policies back. I will say make sure that the policy will involve everybody. And in tia bruchire ha. Enipa wosika, nipa na busua wosika. Ni university school fees and soro. Esne de nisika. But you don't go and do this thing. Say, oba first year tertiary institutional media chow, but every the second and third year no, you have to pay. Into a hiani bano. How can he go to the tertiary institution? You see, these guys, they are stupid. They are. Mpese medio biatem. Omone nimdie ewa mamuomu. Omone nimdie wa mamuomu. The best thing they could have done, and they say, Sasika way, and come the best support to a here for more timi akote shared institution. NFN equity in society. Good governance. Adwen kesi ayedi bu oman. We no be a you can say popularity policies. Nyansa nim Mami Paulina memo akwaba. We just for popularity. Sa sika we ya ode akoto hoi. Asika for mana na betumi adi so mfaso. Ahia for man they are out because after the first year who is going to take care of them? Nyansa enim. Ato forsen. Wetwa asi. Let's move on because Niamano does 292 million. 292.4 million allocation for the distribution of free sanitary pad to female students in primary and secondary school. And then Ghana buying Adani what? Adani Palapharmacy. Hey, John Mahama, you communist for say no mutio. Say no mutia. Entienne Ghana buying Adani Palapharmacy and our dying. The oil say or distribute sanitary pad to guests. Mutia yo sanitary pad. Ye the Ghana sabio. Ntoboana amanfo etuano to na yetuano. Ye de koto sanitary pad na de abma school for nkoda so omo njim fammo omo na sabio omo niema ba omo de solve omo problem. Mentan obabia o. Mentan obabia. Ena enye se ye meya se ye de sanitary pad e be che nkwada. Yes, but the issue is only a useless government. Abang a only munyansa who dear or sell near more mining corner nim and a better sound class anyway. It is only a primitive leadership. And a bedroom say, "My main quarter sanitary pad and farmer school for uncle." Because we ye new mama or mine or my mamu for no more. Their mothers and their fathers will take care of their children's necessities. We a popular vote. The Odibenya popularity. Sasika way, ebe kwandi si fo mpanfo bi no bottom. Nyansa bi anim. Sasika way, the end product of this money ne say ebe kwa kodi nkwasiafo bi no bottom. Ebe chadi. Ai. Yeba beton sanitary pad baako e dia magana for at cost of beer $15 per sanitary pad. Inti afibia, we will repeat this thing. We will repeat it. Yanko yanim na nemano doso. 242 million allocation to support victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage. Okuja tabra kwa ebedidi ewo ha. Abushanfwe, moma yenkai se. Sa nemo ye ohu se omo atwere no. Eye normal. That is the best way you will do to steal. Because untumi mfaskani mfira buying the bottom abra won chere de ode kwa akoye enti chere se odi scan ekoye adwuma wo ya unya di pie efiri aban no bottom wi a now de aye de ope said ye ye kan se maslock sika ye de ko ho ma me ni di ye e ma ni ye no sa na tie said ye twa sika si enkoto bonanse mra ato forcing edi hu sika no sa na tie I said your friend is saying Odida Mahama onkoto koko bottom mera na otumi koto koko bottom ne boe den sene koko bag ya koko gum no sa na tie and the allocations are done. That is the creation. Loot no ebedu ane amount project and then the loot. Your amount project na your most can say fakoye project na you go to the last part of your friend share. And this Akosombo spillage when I can asem. Apart from San Anado, when this thing happened, he allocated a lot of money to support them there. But NDC and a way of stealing it, allocate another budget there. Yentuaso, 200 million allocated to support victims of tar dive waves disaster in the Keta South constituency. Another create route and share. Monka na munhu se je kufo baaye maame blessing me mo akwa abapa you saw the blessing of osu me mo akwa abapa je kufo baaye o sha asese nka osisi defense binum e wo da area ho ekosi sen NDC for baaye betwa wonhwe sankrofo we na sansem yo mo repeat no ukofo mo budget 2020 2012 ne 2016 and asifo nyina na these things were there where a copy and paste repeating omobedi sika no mfanye de oso omonye omobedi sika no enti sake two sad waves we no see defense ahodo anana do see ye send this for buy your musi bia nkanye ne se nka so che kakra bi bo a na amanfo da nsuo mu no where isikadie na mukodi 3.5 billion allocated for the free secondary education program. Say Nanado as Janto.
Away, we shall wait to save
Maybe I must say, but mother na share video no. I like video no mama na yet to us. Abusiamfo NDC for ye want to me antake. Aye. Ya chichiri won pinting free education must be maintained. Yes. Aye. Nanado Yankupo nhyira baby obia. Baby nanado danko akufo ado obia Yankupon ye den. O nhyira no. NDC for ye sen kom betwa free education mo anye yie. Ya chichiri wo, ya takere wo. Boot for boot aya adwuma mo boa mo beto aso. Na onim de ya. We are watching. We are watching them from afar. Say sa project we sa program we omo man nyira na omo beto aso aye amagana fo anya so mfaso. And for now there the free education and this for admit say nsem na omo kan aye say na nado ni project o dey ba enye hwan ne hwan free education enya de pa no and this for atuche e de ama na nado. Let's see what is going to happen. No, oh, which can we mean? I did woman who will be a crocodile. I mean, had it. Number 7. Number 7. Number 7. Number 7. Oh, yeah, Daniel Cooper once say. Yeah, Daniel Cooper once say, pa. Say, I'm PP for to me. I'm man crofo ya adwena ba fie. The woman ye, apart from that, and this is for say they are going to allocate Tio 500 and what 64 million allocation for comprehensive provision of free curricular based textbook. Enti your money koto books amankwada yebehwe sebeye juma 1.78 billion allocated for school feeding program. Hey, yeni mamo dada and this abreso ne school feeding program egu ye ewo Ghana 145.5 million allocated for the capitation grant anti-free Georgina Bosu wakwaba abusia se capitation grant badia let's mom forget about what the free health insurance no mom forget it. Aye. And this is for say they are allocating 203 million for the payment of teacher training allowances, 480 million allocated for the payment of nursing training allowances. And you know, yeah, the Yankopon say after we bash them concerning the teacher and nursing training allowance, omaji atum so betia. Yankosuna yento aso. And this is say they are allocating 9.9 billion Ghana cedis for the national health insurance. Okay. 2.8 billion allocated for Ghana Road Fund. Ghana car coin. 7.5 billion allocated for the District Assembly Common Fund. 1.5 billion allocated for agriculture for economy, transformation and agenda. Yantuaso, 51.3 billion allocated as seed fund for the establishment of the Women Development Bank. Yantuaso na yanko yanim. 300 million allocated for the National Apprenticeship Program. 100 million allocated for the Ajumawura Program. 100 million allocated for what? National Codes Program. Which is this? Nkano ehanewo. Yati bi pen, yati bi da. Enya de mono. Nsema omo ken nyina no. nsema omo kan nyina no eye nsema nsem na omo kan nyina no eske no beba life wow nsem na omo kan nyina no ya tibi pen and we saw what happened. They couldn't do nothing with it. And it's actually more achiche dia kogu ha no. Just for the showcasing. Say this kind of way, this kind of way, this kind of way. At the end of the day, no, they won't do nothing with this money. They will spend the money, they will chop the money, and they will come and give us excuses. Hey, multi sanitation wase moha. Manti sanitation wase moha. Manti gates or mokoye huajuma. Manti cleaning of the city. Manti huasem. Krofo moyare. There is something wrong with them. Aye. Mame reta mwakwa papa. Manti so mokoye sanitation program so. Corona yesimu aye fear malaria. Mami we say when we talk about cholera means somebody is eating faces, you know. Yanka huasem. All the monies that we are talking about, you know. Saya dear we county.
The whole statement is about cholera, and cholera this year is started from Ada. And when you want to understand what cholera means, which means somebody has eaten feces. Mr. Speaker, what brings about all those things is about sanitation. Whether we do proper sanitation. Mr. Speaker, just 2 months ago, there is a whole ministry for sanitation. And if you look at the budget for that ministry, and if you look at that budget and the sanitation doesn't go down to the people, then, Mr. Speaker, I beg to differ. We are not speaking truth to our...
Yes, in Tabusha, sanitation and Manu NDC, MP for Ada order. Ono ne sikorara ajigana fa amanfo e because amanfo di Osibi HS yekese korara aba say people has eaten feces. But Mahama budget no. Sanitation enka ho, but yekodo pad e de amankwada. Oh God of mercy. Ye wosika e de koto what? Part edi amankora, but yan can say sanitation aye de bebo ama oman mu aye clean na amanfo omodi omuhuni ya prapra kurom na kurom aye fe no budget na mekan ye no allocations na bi nim. That was what I was waiting for. My kind of platform was I wanted to know the amount of money that they wanted to direct to the Minister of Sanitation in the country. Ebi nka ho Yaboka agu. Sama mi we asan kopie mu parliament. Now the tie.
Budget is going to be because Ghanaians don't want too much talking. We don't want to hear inflation this, inflation that. All we want is we should have peace and we should have things reduced so that we can buy. All they want is to stabilize the economy. All they want is to put food on their table. So we need a budget that will put food on our table. We don't want to hear, and the inflation is this, inflation that, and that. We don't want to hear their big English. We want to see changes in our lives.
That is your finance minister presenting about.
Yes, we promise to reset Ghana. And the reset is going to start from today because a lot of levies will go off. And we know that will reduce the living cost a bit. They should stabilize the city. That's all we want. So it should be no long talk. Me, I don't believe in long talk. Action. The action to start from today. That's all we are looking for.
Right. So you are an advocate for women, young girls. Should you also see?
Onti abusianfo. Mami we esha ase kan say sanitation. We NDC ni o. But parliament omokoye budget no. Allocations no moye na bi nka ho. Na abusian sa budget we ya maka kire we sika omode ye ba bi omode ko ba bi omode ko omoye ni nyina wie ye. And afenyo markets. ɛsɔre gyina mu ɛwɔ parliament hɔ ɛna ɔde nsɛm wei egu dwa yɛn nkɔnkɔnkɔ tie afɛnyɔ markets na wɔn deɛ mpɛ sɛ menka na ɔnte me ho ɔnte ho ase ne sɛ saa nneɛma wei yɛ hu hoi yɛ hu bi da ɛyɛ ntorɔ ukɔfa wɔn budget 2012 de wɔn de bɛdi Ghana so for 4 years na yɛatwerɛ nneɛma wei nyinaa the same thing go wɔn anyɛ ho hwee wɔn anyɛ ho hwee saa nneɛma wei yɛ ohu ni ha yi yɛatwerɛ bi akyerɛ mo da yɛamfa anyɛ bibia na ɛyɛ early to tell you but you know what we are keeping these images by June remember that we shall say ensisanye bɛn na wuhu yɛ. Did anything change? Did you see anything? Did anything new came into your life? Dada na. Thanks to God, say na doko. Na the GDP ratio no at 64%. And yes, sir, nkayawu nkrofo we. Afe no mo bebo bosia kese. Bosia kese. Afe no mo ba bebo. Today young konko ti afenyo markets. Punchline sir, odema no ankasa na damfo ato forcing. We
have been presented with part 2 of the lamentation series. The part 1, Mr. Speaker, the part 1 was Mahamanomics. The part 2 is Forcenomics. And it's very clear, Mr. Speaker, that under the economy that they complain about, the growth was 5.7%. And under the research economy, the growth is rather going down. You are projecting a 4-point-something growth. That is what you are doing. Mr. Speaker, the economy that they complain about left us with 4 months of import cover. And they are projecting under reset 3 months. Mr. Speaker, these are the very people who managed the economy up to 2016 and left us with some IPP debts. Today they are telling us that they are coming to renegotiate the very disaster they left us. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minority Leader, Honorable Minority
Mr.
Leader.
Speaker, we are not debating today. We are giving an indication.
Honorable Minority Leader, please be guided by Order 91.
Mr. Speaker, exactly so. Very, very guided by that. Mr. Speaker, I mean, read Order 91.
Your statement was that you are not debating today.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, we are not making comment on it. We are not going to make comment today. 91, Mr. Speaker, when he makes a statement, we are supposed to comment on it.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying that we are not going to engineer the comment today. Because, Mr. Speaker, they are not ready. We are ready, but we think they are not ready.
Minority
so I'm
Leader.
only going to give an indication. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, let the Minority Leader enjoy his bona fides for this minute. Just relax, Mr. Speaker.
I only want to draw your attention to the fact that you can only make comments.
Very well.
And the comments not more than 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in commenting on this statement by the Finance Minister, it is clear to all of us in this chamber that today they decided to populate this chamber entered this chamber with their members only to come.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister for Finance did not talk about the population of the chamber. So that is not part of the statement of the minister. Please.
Mr. Speaker, I noticed that when the finance minister came to present his statement, for the first time after the inauguration, the swearing in, the majority side was heavily populated. Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed what we can best describe as an AZAAA budget. Mr. Speaker, they are all much talked about for 24-hour economy. The president came here, they said it was all ready. The finance minister comes here, and again, the 24-hour economy policy is not included in his budget statement. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the youth of this country have been waiting for this 24-hour economy policy. The minister tells us the policy will be brought later. Hey, Ato, the policy will be brought later. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that all the jobs they promised the youth of this country was merely an AZAAA promise. Mr. Speaker, there is no inspiration from this budget. There is no hope in this budget. The repetition of the social intervention programs, Mr. Speaker, and then the minister complained that some contracts at the road sector had no commencement certificate. Go to the Chain Homes Road. There is a road construction on the Chain Homes. There is a new road being constructed to the 10 rooms with a new runabout. There is no commencement. We did a search. There is no commencement. There is no PP approval. You are doing, Mr. Speaker, you have started construction.
Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Please, comments. I have given you a privilege. Don't abuse it.
Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude my comments by saying that whereas the Minister of Finance told us that there will be heavy sanctions against all those who go contrary to the PFM Act, under his own administration, the Chain Homes Road is being constructed now. A new runabout is being constructed. Meanwhile, there is no commencement certificate. Meanwhile, there is no PP approval. Mr. Speaker, the sanctions must start with his own ministers. Mr. Speaker, we are ready for our comments. We know they are not ready, but if the minister is going to stay, Mr. Speaker, let us start the comments on this budget statement here and now, because this AZAAA budget, we cannot allow it to get onto the shelves for Ghanaians to think that there is any hope. Mr. Speaker, there is going to be comment to expose them. Thank you very much.
Presented by the Minister for Finance. Abushanfo Entino said the budget itself is empty. And throw Mudidi Ghana for Omabeti Omankasa Moto. there is no money for free education. Free education is expensive. But they are saying they are going to continue. You see that there is money in Ghana. Abani Jessica or now one where man where you the former finance minister for the 8th Parliament. Listen to what he has to say about the budgeter and the atoforsen at the core Parliament. Here we are, near to us. Let's say like if you do not know I like it. I know I share some subscribe to the channel.
And this will be followed later with a more comprehensive response. To start with, as you all heard the minister has confirmed to the whole world today that the economy we handed over to the NDC government was a strong economy. We have been telling Ghanaians that the economy was not in crisis. President Mahama used the soda over an economy which was not in crisis. And yet he told Ghanaians the economy was in crisis. The Minister for Finance also tried to do same. But however, we all heard him alluding to the fact that this economy is a strong economy. You watched the hesitation when it came to announcing the growth figures. You also watched with hesitation by the minister when it came to the debt levels, the debt to GDP levels. The reality is that as of the end of last year, 2024, growth rate, real GDP growth, was 5.7%. And this was released just yesterday by the Ghana Statistical Service, confirmed by the minister today. We took over from the NDC in 2016 with a growth rate of 3.4%. 3.4% against 5.7%. Come to the projection for 2025. That is really disturbing and disappointing. An economy that was broken, recording 5.7%, and a reset economy, as we are being told, is projected to grow at 4%. How can we say that this reset economy will be better than the economy that President was criminally mismanaged and which grew at 5.7%? In terms of gross international reserves, again, with the NDC government, $8.9 billion of gross international reserves. And that was the equivalent of 4 months of import cover. The NDC handed over in 2016 with import cover of 3.5%. 2016, we left them with 4 months of import cover. In this year's budget, 2025, they are projecting to achieve 3 months of import cover,
resetting backwards,
which is even worse than what they recorded in 2016. Are we moving forward or we are moving backward? So if a broken economy could leave 4 months of import cover, how come a reset economy is contemplating going back to 3 months of import cover? Ladies and gentlemen, the debt to GDP of Ghana, they have made all the noise about the MPP government excessively borrowing. The debt to GDP at the end of 2024 was 61.8%. Debt to GDP ratio 61.8%. NDC, when they left office in 2016, it was 73%. It was not until when the GDP was rebased in 2018 that it came to 56%. But the real debt to GDP when they left government was 73%. We left government with 61.8%. It means that Ghana is no longer heavily indebted. We have brought Ghana to debt sustainability path, and we are just left with little percentage points to achieve the IMF target of 55%. If you have 61.8%, we are talking about 6 percentage points to achieve the IMF target of 55%, which Ghana is supposed to achieve by 2028. But ladies and gentlemen, as of 2024, we already have achieved 61.8%. This economy, they said, was a broken economy, ended with a debt to GDP ratio of 61.8%. We have left with the NDC just 6 percentage points to achieve the 55%. But looking at the way they've started borrowing, I am worried. I am worried if they will not jeopardize the achievement, the gains that we have handed over to them. Trade balances have been confirmed today to be in surpluses. Trade balance is in surplus. The current account balance is in surplus. This cannot be a broken economy. The fiscal data was what the minister tried to use to misinform Ghanaians about the economy we handed over to them. The minister was quoting a fiscal deficit on commitment basis of about 8.3% and primary balance of about 3.7% deficit. Ladies and gentlemen, these are cooked figures. These are cooked figures. They have manipulated the data, and we know how they did it. They created a new line called unreleased claims, amounting to 49 billion Ghana cedis. And that is what they have put in the fiscal data to manipulate it to the levels of deficit they are complaining about. But I can tell you, we left a surplus primary balance. When we interrogate the data, every Ghanaian will know that we left a primary balance of a surplus of 0.7% on commitment basis. Ladies and gentlemen, they're talking about IMF, that we have breached the IMF program. I am so shocked that a minister of finance will be announcing the breach of the IMF program even before the IMF starting the review in April. The Minister for Finance is already giving a judgment that we have breached the IMF program. This has never happened in the history of this country, that a minister will be happy for his country to breach when the IMF has not said so. And that should tell the Ghanaian the lamentation and the misinformation they are carrying out to the world. When a country breaches the IMF program, it has serious implications for attracting investment into the country. This Minister for Finance is appealing to investors to come to Ghana, and the same minister is telling them that the economy is bad when the evidence doesn't support what he said. Is he attracting investment, or he is driving away investments? This is not the way to govern a country. Gentlemen and ladies, the minister also talked about the $10 billion big push. $10 billion big push. And in this budget, he allocated $800 million. $800 million to the big push projects in this budget. When they want to spend $10 billion, they even average $1 billion. They increase it to $1 billion average a year. They will not even be reaching $5 billion by the end of their term. So the jobs they are promising Ghanaians, they are Sakawa jobs. The jobs will not come. They are already failing in their promise as far as the big push is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, they talked about the 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy is supposed to incentivize industry to grow the economy. we left government with industry performing 7%. But if you look at the average industry performance from this year 2025 to 2028, by the time they leave government, it is only 5%. Average industry growth, 5% for the next 4 years. When MPP recorded 7% in 2024. 24-hour economy is another Sakawa. The jobs they are promising will not happen. The budget did not address the cost of living issues. Cost of living issues haven't been addressed. Transport fares continue to increase. The budget did not address how they are going to ensure that petroleum product prices do not increase. And once petroleum product prices continue to increase, transport fares will continue to increase. This budget did not address that. This budget did not address energy bills, electricity bills. They didn't talk about how they are going to reduce energy bills. They didn't talk about how to decrease water bills. All these bills will continue to increase, looking at the indicators that we are seeing. And we thought that having campaigned on cost of living crisis and came to power with the support of the Ghanaian people, the least the government could do was to present a budget that will address the cost of living crisis in terms of transport fares, in terms of petroleum product prices, in terms of energy bills. But even when we come to taxes, the minister announced that they are abolishing VAT on motor insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, we were already not collecting VAT on motor insurance. VAT on motor insurance was exempted. Rather, the minister was trying to be smart. They have reintroduced VAT on non-life insurance, with the exception of the motor vehicle insurance. So all other insurance, given that the penetration of the insurance industry is just 1.1%, we are so shocked that the minister will reintroduce VAT on non-life insurance, except motor vehicle insurance. So let us not rejoice over the removal of these taxes, which what we did not expect was the reintroduction of VAT on insurance. They've also increased the growth eligibility levy from 1% to 3% for the mining sector and extended the sunset period from 2025 to 2028. When you heard the minister talking about growth, he said that the growth was influenced by the extractives.
That's a lie.
And so, how can you tax a sector which is giving you growth? The sector that is giving you growth is the sector you want to go and tax. This is not good for industry. This is not good for economic growth. And this is not good for the development of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana. My brothers and sisters, they are talking also about gold board. It's important I address this. The gold board, as you heard the minister talk about, it to be financed from the budget. The minister is allocating $279 million to the gold board. We have never funded the gold purchase program or gold for oil program from the budget. It's never happened. And so to fund the gold board from the budget, in our view, is just to put in money to be benefited by NDC cronies. It is to create loot and share. The Bank of Ghana was funding the gold for purchase program from a revolving fund, and therefore it did not affect the taxpayer. Now you have a gold board which is going to rely on the taxpayer. We think that this is create loot and share, and we will resist it. Let me also say that the women banking that they said they were going to set up. They have allocated a paltry sum of 50 million Ghana cedis, 51 million Ghana cedis, 51 million Ghana cedis. And the capital requirement is 400 million for banks to be set up. So what are you telling Ghanaian women? Even when you have your vice president being the first woman to occupy that position, we are throwing dust in the eyes of the Ghanaian people, particularly our women who really need all the support we can provide to them. Let me add also on free senior high school program. Free senior high school program is so important for Ghanaians. The NDC, as the minister said, there is no dedicated funding for free senior high school. That is not true. That is not true. The free senior high school program is funded from the goods and services component of ABFA. That is how we have funded free senior high school. Now he is deciding to uncap GET fund with the view to using the uncapped amount to fund free senior high school. But GET fund is for infrastructure. GET fund is used for infrastructure. Free senior high school is mostly about goods and services. And this is why we applied the goods and services component of the ABFA to fund free senior high school program. Very soon, Ghanaians will see whether they can provide sustainable funding for free senior high school. Back, therefore, parents should pay. That is what they are trying to do. But we will expose them anytime they try to do this. Also, the Agenda 11 projects, we had a dedicated funding source for it. We were funding it with the CAPEX component of ABFA allocated to GIF. The minister is taking that money from GIF. He has indicated that GIF will no longer have that money, which means that there will not be any dedicated funding for Agenda 11 projects, and which means that the president does not intend to complete these projects, which are needed badly by our people in all the districts across the country. They are also talking about allocating some money for nurse allowance and teacher allowance. We thought he would have commended the MPP government. After they abolished nurse allowance and teacher allowance, we brought it in. They are continuing with it, and they are allocating money towards it, and they want to take credit for this. This cannot happen. If you recall, the Minister for Education said teacher training allowance was no longer going to be viable. But the Ghanaian people, led by we the mighty minority, we opposed them, we chastised them, we condemned that attempt to end teacher trainee allowance. And this is why they have chickened out. And instead of admitting to the Ghanaian people that they've gotten some sense from the mighty minority, they want to take credit for that. I thank you very much, but I want to assure you that this is just preliminary response. Tomorrow, we have a major press conference to give a comprehensive response. It is not going to be for girls. It's going to be for all Ghanaians, all the Ghanaian people. Thank you very much. So this budget, this is the, it's called what? Ndada budget. Ndada budget.
Abusuamfo na se eno na papa na kire mu kama no budget me ka kire o ntro nada nyansan nim just to rob Peter to pay Paul sa na me ntiga na fo asio. You are jubilating because you tax your free betting. So betting tax was never implemented. It was a policy. The government wanted to impose them on, or to legitimate them, but they never implement them. Or see where you VAT free car insurance. So there was no car insurance VAT. Mona modi VAT to other insurance. So, but to be smart, this guy wanted to deceive people. This is the level in which we find ourselves today. CSC pe moja dodo omo di nsuo afra ye moja mu amaye abusianfo mabie fo last na tum utumi frɛ na wa kyerɛ wa dwen ene o se mi wi on fan me pa because me ba late but na me say no ma I never know say he was coming live ke abusia me so say mon frɛ na mon kyerɛ ma dwen emfa budget no ye ye kan ye no ye mon so mo dwene e de fa ho ye mfa bibia emra na wi ye bie fo last na tum utumi frɛ na wa kyerɛ wa dwen me den ene Mr. Maf high RAZ Media GH like video na message say like unsubscribe to channel no so a message wa say bo modern na subscribe to the channel abeka busuankuo no ho say de be ada bi e ba live for obetumi abeka ho bi na won so watumi a contribute to na wa kire wadwen afansem a ye de eba no ho ye nyina ene ye adwuma enya me nko ena me bo adwuma me say ye nyina ene ye adwuma ti message wa say bo modern na subscribe to the channel na beka busuankuo no ho se na be ya da bia baba life bia no obeti obenya nkaibo se yaba na wabejoin na ye the program no ahihye so apa program na ye de 24 lines no ye bia to utumi fe na wa kire wadwe
left an economy which was in coma at the ICU center, because today they have told us that the GDP growth is 5.7, which is higher than 3.6 that they gave us in 2016. They've told us that our debt to GDP is 61.8, which is far better than 72.5 they left for us. So that is the first acknowledgement and appreciation. Then you need to move on to other things, such as their own target. There are even certain targets below ours. There are certain targets of 4%, I think 4.4%. How can you meet an economy which is growing at 5.7? Then you are setting a target to take us back. Are you not really worried? Are you not worried?
Maybe looking at the state.
So are you? The state tells you now. The state is what he told us, that the economy is fit, is growing at a very high percentage as compared to what they left for us. Our debt to GDP, because you cannot talk about debt alone. In financial economics or in economics, you don't talk about debt. Look, let's take even someone like Kwame Despite. He can owe $1 billion. I can owe $1 million. But my problem would be a very big issue. Why? Maybe my asset shows that I'm running bankrupt, but he is not. That is why the most important factor to consider is the debt to GDP. And the debt to GDP, ours is better than his. And he's not setting a target below ours. I think they're proving beyond all doubt is that when it comes to prudent management of the economy, MPP is far ahead of the NDC. That's the nicest thing that I am happy about. Now, they made a number of promises. If they are able to materialize these promises, realize them, then they are good. But it's easier said than done. So if they can, Why not?
Are you in any way doubting that they can do that?
That's, I will not say I'm doubting or not, but I'm saying that if they can. The other aspect is that you want to set up a bank and you're putting in 51 million cedis. If I heard him right.
That's correct, 51 million.
But what is the policy for setting up a bank? It runs into 400, so what is he telling us? Did they really? What are you saying? Yeah, we're a great media person. The law, the act, tells us that before you can set up a bank, you need 400 million. Now you are saying you have 51 million to set up a bank. You see, when you dwell on propaganda and lies and deception, this is what happens to you. If you have been any developed economy, you, the media guys, would have held on to them and asked them to come again. But we live in Ghana. So are they going to overrule the law? Are they not going to adhere to the laws of our country? Are they going to undermine the very law that has conferred on us the power we have now to act? That the same law we have is telling us that we need 400. He is saying they have 51. So damn the law. Is that what he said? I don't think so. I thought it's a nice person, but they've gotten it wrong. They should come again, retract and apologize to Ghanaians. And probably maybe if there was transpositional error in setting the figure, they should come again. Maybe 500, I don't know. But 50 million cannot set up a bank in Ghana.
Yes, and to you as the council and then a point of view about to say you cannot use $50 million Ghana cedis to set up a bank because you had the mra and a build a bank in a country. A mra na build a bank and it says only 400 million to me and day empty bank money ye. So the NDC should go and come again. Abusian for medemo ebesiha. Na ochna ya sign atwaso. Meaning say people are not ready to call. So I'll end here. But what I would like to tell you is that Medamu nyina ase ene sabio ebeka se bre na me sound de kura se ne sitia. Medamu nyina ase ene bre amunya ya modi ebetie me. Medamu nyina ase ene sabio echo. This is what. Medamu nyina ase any sound, any sabio bre, any time, any sabio contributions mode abeboa ama yawie programming. Medamu nyina ase, minim sese de tie bia no chna ye be sign ahia. Ye ma me Steph. Okay. Mame mfano ka I was crossing. Hello, Mame Esther. Hello. Hello. I'm saying, my man, want a network in here. Come on. Hello. 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 No, yeah, mommy, Esther, go to connect with us. I think she will call back. She will call back. Yeah. Yes, Mammy Esther, Uber to me as a free why. I will try no. My train say Uber free na yede BPR. Aba na we say why you busy so we can make it a day. Now China assign a share or her. Senator na. Hi, RAZ Media GH on YouTube and RAZ Media on Facebook.
Scrapping of tax on sanitary pads.
I have not heard the budget is going to be because Ghanaians don't want.
So what would the budget require? TV. The budget is going to be what?
Budget is going to be because
the budget is going to be I NDC politics. The budget is going to be what?
Budget is going to be
Nah, budget is never yet. Obobo entro ede dada kwa na krofo we. Omodity o mine. Abushi amama mfa mo nsi ha. Na yenye ne ochna. Ai. Mesro se yewia Kakari TV e wo live enti no. ye free ha mo ye nyina yenko ye nwia kakari ne site yenko boare no so mfa na dwuma no emra nwia e bia na o wanda kwa me ba life wa unhume mesro say agise wo subscribe to the channel na onyuma love bottom no so eno mbom na be mo wakwanya se de be ya me ba life wa ubenya nkai bosema ba because I think say some few days ago the page is not actually doing a lot because of say I think say there are issues of distribution and just say like keep page no subscribe now I sign so e don sa abo adoma no so say de be ba life wa obeti enka me de mo be si ya na ochena ya sign ehia biem makramo se video we na wantem nka bia na Mr. Manfo na me de wasia ochena be si ehia yenko ne nko support ye kakari TV sanso na wi a ye wi afobia member TV so beba life me de obesi ya na ochena ya sign atoaso adios